ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC7 News at Noon.
A month-long investigation by the Maine Drug Enforcement Agency led to the arrest of a Fairfield man Thursday. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. That story is coming up. Also, the Maine Legislature's Government Oversight Committee has voted to obtain a subpoena to obtain documents from the state's Child Welfare Agency. We'll explain. And Maine Democrats held a press conference at Orono Brewing Company with several Maine businesses yesterday, and we were there. That's coming up along with the rest of our stories. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey, Susan. Happy Friday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks, across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. Already plenty of alerts in effect thanks to Fiona, though. We do have high wind warnings in effect that will last through Saturday at about 8 p.m. with wind advisories until about 5 p.m. or so. Fiona could possibly bring gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour, power outages, maybe an issue on land. And of course, water, though, we do have gale warnings and storm warnings in effect lasting until about 5 to 8 p.m. in some areas. So please be careful if you're going to be in this area, though, with regards to where Fiona is going to be going. Meanwhile, though, the cold front's tracked off towards the east, so we're dealing with some gusty winds already. So the cold front's helping to steer Fiona away from us, so that's why we will not see any precipitation. But Fiona is going to be moving up into parts of Canada and Nova Scotia, where they could be seeing some very bad issues, to put it in that sort of sense, with the system that's going to be tracking off towards the north pretty quickly, though, about to clear Bermuda at this point. But meanwhile, though, the winds, maybe some sustained winds up to 15 to 20 miles per hour, but some higher gusts up to 30, even 50 miles per hour can't be ruled out over the next day or so before things start to calm down as we head towards your Sunday. Futurecast, though, showing the Fiona tracking off towards the north. Look how tight that pressure gradient is. We will not see any rainfall with that, but we will see some winds out of the north from time to time, and of course some cloud cover as well. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period showing plenty of clouds and windy conditions, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A month-long investigation by Maine Drug Enforcement Agency led to the arrest of a Fairfield man Thursday. MDEA says 35-year-old Justin LaCroix of Fairfield was arrested following the execution of a search warrant at a home on Hardwood Lane in Fairfield Thursday morning. Agents located approximately 280 grams of fentanyl and 225 grams of cocaine, along with $43,000 in suspected drug proceeds. Multiple vehicles outside the residence were also seized. The suspected street value of the drugs is approximately $65,000. LaCroix was taken to the Somerset County Jail. He's charged with aggravated trafficking in Schedule W drugs. The Maine Legislature's Government Oversight Committee has voted to obtain a subpoena that will force the state's Child Welfare Agency to turn over documents related to the deaths of 4 children last year. The Maine Department of Health and Human Services denied a previous request by lawmakers. DHHS said it has no concerns about providing the material to the Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability, which reports to the committee. A spokesperson says the agency will share the requested documents with OPEGA as soon as possible. Maine Democrats held a press conference at Orono Brewing Company with several Maine businesses. Representative Joe Perry of Bangor says he sees the Mills administration as doing what's best for the state.
The Democrats have a great platform, a great story to run on. This a success. The Mills administration has been a great success. We've got 2 balanced budgets. The economy's great. There's almost $1 billion in the rainy day fund. We're at full employment. There's $3.5 billion in the checkbook for the state of Maine. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more success than that.
In response, Republican State Senator Stacey Guerin from Senate District 10 responded on behalf of her party, saying Maine Republicans have long been known as a party that supports small businesses. She blamed Democrats for statewide staffing shortages.
The Democrats have made it possible for people to stay home, be on a number of different kinds of assistance, and not look for a job. The unemployment statistics look low, but they really aren't, because they don't include the people who are not looking for a job. Every small business in Maine, or nearly every, is looking for employees.
Paula Page's daughter released a video statement pushing back against an advertisement suggesting LePage could seek to change abortion laws in Maine. In the video, Lauren LePage said her father has never opposed abortion in the circumstances of rape, incest, or when the life of the mother is in question. She said he never sought to change the laws during his 8 years serving as Maine's governor.
I've seen the ads, and frankly, they're ridiculous. My dad, Governor Paul LePage, would never endanger the health and safety of Maine women just like me.
We reached out to the Mills campaign for a response, but they declined to comment. We also reached out to the Democratic Governors Association, which paid for that ad. Their senior campaign communications advisor, Christina Amstoy, released a statement saying, in part, quote, "For 8 years as governor, Paul LePage was one of the most prominent voices in Maine's anti-choice movement, and nothing has changed this go-around. LePage has publicized his belief that abortion should be restricted in Maine and refuses to rule out signing legislation that would erode Maine's reproductive freedoms if bills cross his desk." Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, residents of the Lancaster Avenue neighborhood in Bangor are upset with a recent building project. We'll explain when we return.
When it looks the part, but isn't the real thing, that's fool's golden. Jared Golden promised he'd be an independent fighter against Biden's spending, but then cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill that experts say will hike taxes $1 billion on those making under $50,000. Golden may think we're fools, but his recent vote shows Mainers what he's really made of. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, no matter how big or small, depend on Hammond Lumber Company for the products and services you need. The knowledgeable staff at Hammond Lumber will be with you every step of the way and keep your project on schedule. From free estimating and project planning to design and drafting services, an extensive product inventory with a wide variety of brands to choose from, and of course, Hammond delivers from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Ellsworth, is sponsored by Dragonfire Pizza, voted one of the best places to eat in Ellsworth. Momo's Cheesecakes, we have more than 60 cheesecake flavors to choose from, and now offering fudge. Stop in today. And Patriot Homes can tackle all your building projects, from modular homes to garages.
Here's a great way to save money on your credit card bills. If you have 3 or more credit cards and you're way behind on the payments, we can show you a way to pay as little as 50% and have 0 debt in 24 months. Call now and learn how to reduce your credit card bills by 50% and be 100% debt-free. We always offer 24/7 help and a free consultation. Call right now.
So Mrs. Franklin was supporting you, your daughter, and her children.
Yes, Your Honor. Unwelcome in the home she paid for.
Who's living in the house now?
All of them except me.
Fascinating.
Now her ex.
Well, you had a pretty good gig, sir.
Is the one cashing in.
You were married to her for 4 years. She put up the money for the house. It's going to get sold, and you're going to get a piece of it. Isn't that great?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wonderful.
Next Judge Judy.
Friday at 5, only on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The Maine Association of Realtors is reporting an ease in sales during the month of August. The August 2022 housing report states single-family existing homes across the state dipped 9.89% compared to sales in August of 2021. Although we are seeing a drop in sales, the values for homes remain high, with an average median price of $340,000 per single-family home. That is an increase of 9.68% compared to August of 2021. Madeline Hill, president of the association, says we're not seeing a cool-off just yet.
Trend in the housing market currently is we're starting to see a balance with the interest rates having a slight increase but still being historically low. Buyers are starting to reevaluate their targeted price points. And what that's doing is it's creating a little bit more opportunity for everybody in the market.
Hill said the market is heading towards more opportunistic trends for buyers and sellers. She said they're still experiencing inflated premium price points, but the supply is what they need. The National Association of Realtors reported the sale of single-family homes decreased 19.2% nationwide for August. Residents of the Lancaster Avenue neighborhood in Bangor are upset with a recent building project. Matthew Duroncic has more.
Developers of the subdivision at Lancaster Avenue and Essex Street were given the green light by the city of Bangor on its project.
We actually, after 4 meetings with the planning board, were approved on Tuesday night.
Consisting of 30 duplexes, the property would house more than 60 residents near the intersection of Lancaster Avenue and Essex Street. However, some residents are concerned the problems it will bring.
With 180 people coming back and forth 2 times a day or more, it's just going to increase dramatically the number of people going in, the speed, influencing the safety of the pedestrians and people who like to walk back and forth on this road.
This site was looked at for development back in 2006, but ended with permits expiring. Emily Ellis, the developer who owns the property, says the location is a prime spot.
I thought, yeah, this is 12 acres. It's in a great spot. It's next to trails, the doggy park, close to I-95, the airport. I mean, it's a nice big 12-acre parcel smack dab in the middle of Bangor.
Ellis told us that the city of Bangor approved her permits, but is waiting on the Department of Environmental Protection to also approve the permits. Once built, each unit would cost about $250,000. Even with everything in motion, neighborhood resident Travis Duty is uneasy about this decision.
You know, we have a lot at stake. You know, we're longtime residents. Myself, I've lived here for 32 years in this neighborhood, and we don't feel that our feelings are being heard out by the planning board or the developers.
Ellis says she plans to be a good neighbor.
I understand that it's change. I would say, love thy neighbor as thyself.
Matthew Duroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Work on rebuilding the wastewater treatment facility in Searsport could begin before the end of the year. Town Manager James Gilway says they've been working for about 4 years to come up with a plan and secure funding for the project. He says they will repurpose the current structure and put in state-of-the-art technology.
The plant itself is 36 years old and has never had any major reconstruction done in it. So we knew we were coming to a real desperate point. Things were breaking, literally rusting out, and we were overdue to have a rebuild. And the rules for clean water have tightened.
The wastewater treatment plant sits on the banks of the Penobscot Bay. Gilway says it's important to protect the bay. He says the new technology is far superior when it comes to safeguarding the environment. The town of Searsport is also working on a plan to rebuild its downtown. Town Manager James Gilway says the downtown has a number of problems, including challenges for ADA compliance and traffic flow. He says the project was put out to bid earlier this year, but nobody bid on it. Now they are easing some of the restrictions for doing the work. Gilway says they will be putting it back out to bid soon, and he hopes construction can begin in the spring.
It's going to be painful to go through, but on the other end of this process, we're going to have a completely different looking town, and it's going to be beautiful.
Gilway says he hopes to get the majority of the construction done in the shoulder season so downtown businesses won't be impacted during the summer. Coming up, millions of Americans can't afford their medications, according to a new nationwide poll. When we return, we'll look at the problem and what's being done.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. The signs of summer are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field. And a day at the lake brings the family together. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort, serving northern Maine to Portland. Choose from Daikin, Fujitsu, or Mitsubishi heat pumps, and you'll be ready for whatever summer brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
We started Fairway Auto Sales because it was a dream of mine to have my own place. I'd worked for dealerships for over 20 years. My wife Nicole encouraged me to go out on my own. At Fairway, you're going to get an honest transaction from start to finish.
When you come to Fairway Auto Sales, you should expect to be greeted by the owners. We'll take you out on the lot. We're going to look at each vehicle and see which one fits you and your family. We like to say, come buy your vehicle the Fairway. It's more than just a tagline. It's the way we do business.
Wheel's taking a spin to the California coast.
Yes.
Head to the
C
and hang 10 or
$10,000.
It could get exciting around here.
I'm sorry.
Do our hot vacation prizes cause brain freeze?
Need a letter.
Oh, sorry. Plus,
What's your involvement with Beyonce?
Antonio's got a tale to tell. This week on Wheel.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
This week on Jeopardy, we've got
Competitive games, high scores.
Plus, Martha has done this before.
50 years ago this spring, I was on the original daytime show with Art Fleming. I won $40 and a set of encyclopedias.
It's America's favorite quiz show.
Ken, I'll make it a true daily double.
Okay, it's fun to say, right?
It is.
This week,
wow, what a close game we have going on.
On Jeopardy.
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
As many as 18 million Americans can't afford their medications. That's according to a new nationwide poll. The Maine People's Alliance, legislators, and policy experts held a panel discussion Thursday to look at the problem and what's being done. Maine Representative Richard Evans says the price of prescription drugs in Maine increased by 12.3% between July 2020 and June 2021.
That forces people to have to make decisions regarding whether or not they're going to get their prescriptions or whether they're going to buy groceries or pay for their heating oil.
Senator Edward Claxton says some progress was made in the last year. Among the changes are new laws that allow pharmacists to fill emergency supplies of medications. He says a bill was also passed that requires all FDA-approved methods of contraception to be covered by insurance.
I think that's been a win for folks who are trying to manage family size and juggle jobs, plural, and get by.
The Maine People's Alliance is kicking off a new campaign called Make Meds Affordable to continue making changes. Here's some food for thought. Recent research shows that leafy greens and fresh fruits may help keep your brain healthy. With more, here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
Although it may be tempting to pass on that salad at lunchtime, a new study suggests it may have long-term benefits for your memory. The key to this is through antioxidants found in foods such as kale, spinach, broccoli, and oranges. Antioxidants have been shown to combat harmful byproducts that can damage brain tissue over time. Specifically, researchers funded through the National Institutes of Health found that individuals with higher antioxidant levels in their blood were up to 14% less likely to develop all types of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. These antioxidants ranged, but included ones such as vitamins A, C, and E. There was no difference seen between age or gender in their findings. There are many factors that can lead to dementia, but incorporating these leafy greens and citrus fruits may be one step you can take to stay sharp for years to come. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Prochet, ABC News.
The Bexport Area Senior Center hosted a volunteer appreciation party to celebrate their hardworking volunteers. According to the Senior Center's director, William Foster, volunteers served and delivered 8,635 meals while also providing activities and programs for seniors in the Bucksport area. Town Manager Susan Lessard stopped by to share her and the Bucksport Town Council's thanks. She also brought gifts and door prizes. Lessard took a moment to read a letter of appreciation sent to the volunteers from Governor Janet Mills. It thanked them for their actions that help increase the health, well-being, and quality of life in older adults. Hamden Academy's principal is sleeping in the school's press box to help raise money for a school trip. It's the second year Principal Bill Tracy has agreed to take part in the Free the Principal event, which kicked off Wednesday night. The goal is to raise $2,200 to help send members of the school's music department on a trip to New York City. Principal Tracy says he'll continue to sleep in the press box until the money is raised.
Goal is hopefully in 2 nights, because I will be headed back down to work each day, but 2 nights would be all right. Third night might stretch it a little bit, but I'm willing to stay as long as it takes.
During the long weekend in New York City, students in the music department will have the opportunity to perform and attend shows. Principal Tracy says it's important to provide the students with cultural experiences like this.
I'm a firm believer in pathways for students, and if there's something that they really want, and that could be music for many of our students, I want them to be able to see all aspects of it and be able to jump in with both feet.
If you'd like to help free the principal, you can drop off donations at Hamden Academy's front office. You can also donate via Venmo by searching Hamden Academy Music Association. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running, and I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Ellsworth, is sponsored by Complete Tire Service Incorporated, providing automotive repairs and tire sales to customers from Ellsworth, Bar Harbor, Blue Hill, and surrounding areas. Shirley's Yarns, Crafts, and Gifts. What can we help you create today? And Disconnected Tattoo and Piercing Shop. We are a family-friendly tattoo and art shop in Ellsworth.
Need to unwind from a long day of work? Come experience life at Mad Cat & Company Bar and Grill in the North Brewer Shopping Plaza, where we serve delicious food, ice-cold beer, and unique cocktails. We have a fully stocked bar, American pub-style food, exemplary service, a fun atmosphere, and plenty of weekly entertainment. We now offer Sunday morning brunch, and stick around with the kiddos for Sunday afternoon kids karaoke and dance party. Our newly remodeled banquet room offers plenty of space for your next get-together. It's never a dull moment at Mad Cat's because we are the party.
The thing about domestic violence is it can happen at any point in life to anybody. The thing about Next Step is we are here at any time for you. If you feel like your relationship has gotten somewhere you never wanted it to be, just know we are here for you and we'll always be here for you. One thing we often hear is, if I had only known that you could help me with that, I would have called you so much sooner than I did. So please give us a call.
This is the time of year when we look for new things to serve when we have friends over to watch football, or when we're curled up on the couch binge watching our favorite show. It's easy, budget-friendly, and it goes together like this. We start by cutting half a dozen baking potatoes into wedges and seasoning them with some olive oil and a bit of salt. After they're well coated, we place them on a couple of baking sheets and pop them in the oven until they're golden. Now you want to make sure you flip them halfway through roasting so both sides get nice and golden. Now we place these in a large bowl and toss them with some wing sauce until they're evenly coated. Then we drizzle them with some bottled blue cheese dressing and finish them off with a handful of chopped celery. What we end up with is a dish that combines everything we love about our favorite wings without the bones or greasy fingers. Everyone's going to love these, wing lovers or not. To get this easy recipe for our buffalo potato wedges, you know the routine. Visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a wing dinger of a way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Dig in.
Here's a look at some of the upbeat stories making headlines today.
A company called Guy's Snacks in Missouri is known for its potato chips, and now they're working on new recipes in order to enter the marijuana market. It comes as voters in November will consider whether to allow legalized pot. The company is developing its snacks in conjunction with a local cannabis grower who's also working on new products. It'll take 5 painters, 1 day, and 400 gallons to freshen up the 9-letter Hollywood sign in the Santa Monica Mountains. The icon is painted once a decade, but this job comes just in time for the 100th anniversary of the sign. First step is erecting swing stations for the painters because the sign is on a 45-degree angle on rocky terrain with no easy access. And the International Olympic Committee is working to make sports accessible to refugees all over the world. That's according to IOC President Thomas Bach, who visited Jordan's Zaatari refugee camp yesterday. He spent the day playing football and table tennis with Syrian children. Bach says sports improve physical health, boost mental health, and promote better education, and will help refugees assimilate in communities. And those are some of the other stories making headlines on ABC 7.
The annual Common Ground Fair kicks off today for the first time in 2 years. Put on by the Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association, the Rural Living Celebration will feature over 1,000 exhibitors and speakers with plenty of food and product vendors. The festival works to emphasize the vibrant communities in Maine as well as the sustainable living practices and local economies they encapsulate. Tickets cost $20 for adults, $15 for elders and teens with people with disabilities. Kids and get in for free. For more information, go to mofga.org. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Happy Friday, Devin.
And TGIF, your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, we have high wind warnings in effect lasting till about 8 p.m. courtesy of Fiona, and we also have wind advisories in effect lasting till about 5 p.m. too. Fiona will get close enough where we're going to see clouds and wind from this system, and some gusty winds up to around 50 miles per hour at times. And of course, it's also prompting storm warnings, so there's surf issues along the coast till about 5 p.m. Saturday, and gale warnings up until about 8 p.m. as we head towards this Saturday as well. Zooming things out, the cold front has moved through. We're still seeing some clouds though, and of course the gusty northwest wind is still going already this morning or this afternoon as well, but we do have this cold front going. It's going to be tracking to the east. It's going to lift Fiona to the north into parts of Canada and Nova Scotia, where it's going to be an issue for them as this strong system continues to move in. Then high pressure will move in for us as we head towards Sunday, and we'll start to calm things down. Let's check in on parts of Fiona. Tracking towards the north and east very quickly, though. Let's pull this. We can look farther off towards the north and east. You can see some of the circular motion here and really showing some of that deepening convection. So this thing's starting to get pretty strong very quickly and tracking northeast fast. Here we are tracking towards the north and east at around 25 miles per hour at times, with winds up to around 125 miles per hour. A Category 3 hurricane is going to keep tracking to the north with high confidence in where it's going, which is why this track is so skinny. It's expected to go extratropical as it moves into parts of Canada. So all we're going to see is some surf issues, some gusty winds, maybe even some damaging winds too. Power outages are possible, so be ready for that. But the worst of it will stay away from us overall, but we're still going to see kind of an inconvenience overall. Some gusty winds up to 25, 30 miles per hour today. Even more gusty winds tomorrow, getting close to that 40 to 50 mile per hour threshold, especially along the eastern side of the state. But once we get towards Saturday night and the Sunday, things will begin to relax. Let's talk about the temperatures real quick. Our average high is 68 degrees. We'll be in the 50s and 60s for the next several days, though. So some days will be cooler than others. Others will be near average with even upper 60s as we head towards Tuesday. Futurecast, plenty of clouds. Winds start to increase throughout the daytime today. Fiona starts to move into parts of Canada. Plenty of issues for a few areas, though. But once you track this to the north, though, some of the clouds will begin to get out of here as we head towards Saturday night into parts of Sunday. With Sunday, the wind's starting to slow down slowly but surely, and things will begin to improve. Your forecast for today, middle 50s, mostly cloudy and windy with that west wind gusting up to around 35 miles per hour at times. Middle 40s tonight, mostly cloudy and windy. The northwest wind gusting up to around 40 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy and windy, northwest wind gusting up to around 50 miles per hour at times. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. We calm down Sunday, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-60s. We'll be in the mid-60s on Monday with a chance for storms, and partly cloudy on Tuesday, highs in the upper 60s.
Thank you, Devin. We got a programming note for you before we leave you this afternoon. ABC 7 News at 6 is on the road, broadcasting live tonight from Ellsworth and Autumn Gold. Make sure plan to start your weekend with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. That's all for us this noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. Have a good afternoon and a great weekend.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped me get to the first day at my career, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from my service helped me buy my first home. And I take pride knowing I will be the first to respond if my community ever needs me. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
You're watching ABC.